The coronavirus is the biggest threat this country has faced for decades.
The only way to protect yourself and your family from this disease is to stay at home.
Instructions like these have put a huge amount of pressure on everyone. But have you begun to consider how this has affected comedians? Is the coronavirus a laughing matter? Here are three very different comedians. Richard Herring is a perennial comedy icon, one half of the 90s duo Lee and Herring, host of one of the most popular podcasts in the world and Edinburgh Fringe Festival royalty. Alex Stringer is a relative newcomer to comedy who has overcome her demons to pursue her comedic dreams, which have been put on hold by the coronavirus and left her unemployed. Ola Labib is a very established touring comedian who's rejoined the NHS as a pharmacist to help during these times. Let's find out how COVID-19 has affected them.
I mean, my wife noted this whenever I took a break from performing, which I've done, every now and again, just taking a month or so off, that she would notice me get quite depressed and quite withdrawn. And I think it is there's an element where performance is a drug for comedians, and if you're doing it every night, you're getting this, this endorphin rush. And if you stop doing that, I think that genuinely that is going to be an issue. It's like being on being a drug addict, and then suddenly they say you're not allowed to have this drug anymore, and there's not really any methadone to keep you through. I'm writing a book at the moment, and it's really, really hard to be creative. It's really hard to concentrate. I think the actual lockdown is not particularly good for creativity. So anyone who's managed to get stuff and get through the malaise and the ennui and the basic depression of it all is doing pretty well to create stuff.
It's kind of soul destroying. It definitely did have an effect on my mental health. It feels like you're just starting something and then this happens and you're like, oh, all right then. I'm in recovery from alcohol addiction, and which is another reason why I still live at home. But it's because I'm 3 years sober and I've done loads of work on myself because of that. But yeah, it's weird. Like even all that stuff, all that kind of support is online as well. So I felt kind of quite comfortable. Initially, my brain went, how do you do this?
I feel like I was held back a little bit, so I couldn't gig as much. I had really big gigs. I was supposed to be gigging with like Daliso Chaponda. I was supposed to be opening for John Richardson. I was supposed to be working with really, really big names. So I was proper hyped for 2020 my year, but they've all been cancelled. They've all been rescheduled. It gave me a lot of time to work on my social media, like my social media platform. And I feel like I've had opportunities that had COVID not happened, maybe I wouldn't have had those opportunities.
I surveyed 50 comedians. 64% said that COVID-19 had left them in financial difficulties, while 26% said that they may have to give up comedy altogether to survive.